We got it? Alright, thanks a lot guys for coming out. Give it up for our house band, Natives of Brutality. Alright, I'm getting Alright, we good now? Alright, yeah, again, I really want to thank you guys for coming out, supporting Genesee Literacy. It's definitely awesome that you guys are ready to come out. Hope you're ready to laugh. I'm actually going first. I'll be the fluffer, if you will, for the comics that we have coming up today.
For once, it's not us.
No, it was us.
I have to be able to walk around.
It wasn't me. So.
Alright. Alright, so anyways, does anybody have a birthday today? Yeah, Alicia does. Do you read your horoscope? Did you read your horoscope today? Well, I did, and my brother's birthday was today too. I was really hoping he was going to be here because I was going to tell you guys that it said you were going to die today. I know they're not normally that specific, but this time they were. So I also want to congratulate my brother on just recently having a kid too. And I'm actually the godfather. So yeah, you guys better watch out. I really hope nothing bad happens to the kid because, man, I really hope the bookie would take it as collateral. I mean, if surrogates make $20,000 for giving away a kid, then if I have one, I could at least get a couple $100, I would figure. Now, just keep in mind too that I know us comics, we were told that we're being kind of censored somewhat. So just keep in mind too that this is an 18 and over show. So I was curious too because it was the first time that I've actually seen like an infant baby. And I didn't realize that they come out with all the hair and everything, so it's like a ridiculously hairy face, so they can grow into it. And I was wondering to myself, I'm like, man, how bad is it for Italian women? Like, do they come out just like Chewbacca? Like, full-blown beard? Just like Zach Galifianakis. And so I was hanging out with my niece the other day, and she's 3, and it's really funny because 3-year-olds are so naive. And it was recently April Fool's too, so me being the jerk that I am, I'm explaining to them how eggs are really like chicken embryos. And then, so after a little while, I give them one of the eggs that we hadn't painted yet, and I'm like, oh, here's a hard-boiled egg. So she goes to break it, and it smashes everywhere. And I'm like, what are you doing, you murderer? You killed it! She wasn't very happy with that. So my dad's here. Give it up for my dad. You guys know my dad. Most of you do anyway. I gotta blow up your spot, Dad. I'm sorry. But it was funny because when we were growing up, we were borderline poor. And my dad is cheap as hell, so if something's broke, he's like, just throw some duct tape on it, Mom. You get that. And so I was wondering the other day, Dad, I was thinking of you for this joke. I was wondering why caskets have so much padding in them. Like, do dead bodies really need to be that comfortable when they're being buried? So just so you know, Dad, you're going in a plywood box when you die. I don't have the money for a cushioned bed for you. So it's funny too because I noticed that we don't have any black people in the crowd. And I was really hoping that we would because I have so many questions. Like Barack Obama's president, right? So they broke down that barrier, but when are we going to see the first black astronaut? When are we going to see the first black German Olympian? Like you would figure the resentment from the Germans would be gone by now. But all right, for this next bit, I'm actually going to need one of you guys to volunteer for me. Yeah, you totally want to do it. What's your name? Come on. All right, Penny. All right. Alright, what's gonna happen here is basically as comedians we sit around and we just wonder random things. Well, I have this notebook here, and basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip each page and I want you to read what's on the page. It's not that inappropriate, so when you do it, Patty, come on, give it up for Patty. You're so ready for this.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry guys, you can't see it, but you'll hear it.
Come on, honey.
This is a terrible start.
Things I wonder. Are there any famous Asians besides Jeremy Lin? I like Oprah because her head's bigger than mine. Tori Spelling is by far the ugliest celebrity. Why is she in every magazine? It's a mix of sea biscuit and a goldfish. Coolio, Montel, Jordan, Jazzy, Jeff, and the guy who played Carlton probably live together in a homeless shelter somewhere. Remember the show Blossom? Neither does anyone else. I like Sex in the City cast dead yet? I thought scurvy would have got them all by now.
Because they're old.
Since Bob Barker died, Price is Right just hasn't been as sexy. Tom Selleck is the Michael Jordan of mustaches. The comedian Sinbad and Missy Elliott would be a great couple. Yep. They would complement one another's windbreaker suits beautifully. I think Joe Paterno's death was fake. He runs a prostitution ring in PA called 20s for Tots. Oh. Offended yet? Yeah. Women who eat bananas must be really healthy. Full jump, I'm very sneaky like that. So I shave my chest, manscaping if you will. I like to give women the full experience of being with a 12-year-old boy. You get what I'm talking about? Woman reading this aloud. What are you up to after the show? Applause.
All right, once again, give it up for Penny. That went a lot better than I thought it would. I'm sure you probably thought it was going to be a lot worse too, huh? Yeah, I got a good reputation. So, I'm sure you guys all seen my car when you were coming in, huh? It's got the writing all over it. As you can tell, I'm very self-conscious about my image, if you will. So I think it would be really awesome to be a stay-at-home dad. Because, I mean, I love cereal. Like, Dad, you know when I was growing up, I was always like, oh, I could be that Mikey kid on the Life box. I'm that kid. And he was like, oh, whatever, you little asshole, get out of here. But, yeah, I mean, I love cereal. And napping, oh, man, I'm the best at napping. You have no idea. I could fall asleep right now if I wanted to. I'm very narcoleptic like that. And watching cartoons, of course, Family Guy, Archer, South Park, all day long. I would be a very responsible parent, to say the least. And if I did have a kid, he would definitely have to be good at sports. So could you picture me with like a 5-year-old kid and he's just starting t-ball? And, I know, right? And so he's sitting there, and I'm up in the crowd, and I'm like, come on, buddy, come on. So he swings and misses. Alright, it's alright, you know, it's your first time, just keep your eye on the ball, you know, just level it out, level it out. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Is this kid retarded? What's going on here? Are you serious? Get out of here, you're sleeping outside for the night. I knew your mom was no good when I hooked up with her. So, you guys heard that Whitney Houston died? I'm sure you guys were all as upset about it as I was. But it was funny because initially they said that her death was accidental. And I didn't know that anybody could OD on purpose. Like, I just don't get the whole theory there. But then I thought about it some more and I'm like, man, Kevin Costner lied because in The Bodyguard he did say he would be there for her forever. And the worst thing about it is too is because from what I'm told she was talented. But I mean, besides The Bodyguard and the soundtrack for that movie, the only thing she's gonna be remembered for is being a crackhead and being Bobby Brown's pillow. I mean, it just sucks for her in that whole image. So the whole reason I started doing comedy is because I'm very sarcastic and I'm very monotone, as you all can tell. So, and it's funny too because I base a lot of the jokes on truth, but then I mix some fiction in there. So I'm at a party a couple weeks ago, and this annoying drunk girl's like, "Tell me a joke." Like, you know the types of girls I'm talking about. And so I'm like, all right, so when I was younger in high school, you know, when we're younger, we'll do anything to sleep with chicks. And me and my buddies had a bet going because I was dating this chick who was celibate. So it's coming to the last day of the bet, and earlier that day I had a doctor's appointment. So it's really getting down to it, and I sit down with her and I'm like, listen, I'm like, I got cancer. I got the big C word. And of course she felt bad for me, so she slept with me. And then, so later on that night, like, she's going to leave and I'm like dancing, you know. Like, I just got laid. I'm a teenage kid. I'm like pumped. I'm like patting myself on the back. I'm like high-fiving the walls. I'm like, we did it. And then right next to my bedroom window, I had like a life-size Andre Reed poster. So I walk up to the poster. I'm like, Andre, we did it. And so she's finally looking at me and she's like, oh, well, I thought you had cancer. Why are you getting so excited? And I'm like, oh, well, about that, I don't have cancer, I have AIDS. So then the girl, I swear to God, she just looks at me, her jaw drops to the floor, and she goes, there's no way you had a life-size Andre Reed poster. Are you serious? When did you graduate? So, another thing about doing comedy is I really hate dating dumb women. And when I do, I like to show them how dumb they are. So, recently, I'm talking to this girl and I go on this website. It's hepatitis.com. And I'm scrolling through the pictures, and next to each one it has either an A, B, or a C. And so I'm scrolling through them, and she's like, that is so ridiculous that there's a website that grades women based on how they look. How do they get away with that? You guys get it? No. Alright, I guess not. They're not all winners. I mean, what are you gonna do? So, the worst thing that I hate is women that wear way too much makeup. Do you guys have this problem? Come on, get pumped up a little bit, come on. And so women that wear way too much makeup, because it's ridiculous, like, you don't want to leave the house with Rachel Ray or like Nick Cage from Ghost Rider. Like, you know, the face lights up once you leave the house. And the worst is if you bring them home at the end of the night and you're having sex with them, you bury the face in the pillow, and then in the next day though, there's my token black guy. Oh, you missed it, Victor. Where was it? Yeah, so anyway, at the end of the night you got the face buried in the pillow, but then the next day when you wake up, It's like you had sex with Stephen King's It. The face is like in the pillow, like you need like paint thinner to get it out. So I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with any of my web bits that I've been doing lately on youtube.com. But recently I just had an idea for a new one where it's an online like dating website, but we do all the work for you. So if you're a paying customer, you tell us your hobbies, your interests, what you're looking for in a girl and things like that. And we'll actually go stalk them for you. And then once we feel that they fit your interests, personality, and things like that, we'll actually get in contact with them and try to set up a date for you. So the call to the woman would go a little something like this. Hello? Oh, hi, ma'am. My name's TJ. I'm calling from whatever the name of our business would be. And I have a client of mine who's very interested in you. You have a lot of similarities, a lot of hobbies, interests, and things like that. I think you guys would make a really cute couple. And then she would be like, well, how do you know me? How'd you get this number? Well, there's internet. There's plenty of ways that we can track you down. And plus, we know what you're doing right now. You're watching Lifetime, as usual, just sitting alone, eating ice cream, just doing nothing on another Saturday. Well, how do you know this? Well, look outside your window, and then we'd have a guy out there. You'd be like, but all right, guys, that's gonna be the end of my time for tonight. Let's get the house band up here for another intro.